Well, guys, we've all known for quite some time that Donald Trump is a petulant man-child who has a really hard time controlling his emotions, controlling his outbursts. And now that we're starting to learn that these strikes in Iran may have not been as effective as Donald Trump wished they would be, well, he's just absolutely losing his mind. He is proving to the world yet again that he is an unserious person who is just incapable of doing this job in a thoughtful and serious way. And now he's lashing out at everybody under the sun because the facts of the matter just do not align with his worldview. We are learning that much of the uranium may have been moved before the strikes even occurred. And even though the strikes themselves did inflict much damage on the nuclear facilities, it doesn't appear that it was irreparable, which means Iran might be able to rebuild these facilities and continue on with their nuclear program. But because Donald Trump came out too soon and declared victory and said that we wiped their nuclear program off of a map, he's now having to contend with the facts of the matter, and he is just not having a good day at all. And reporters on the ground are even saying that this might be the most pissed off that they've ever seen Donald Trump. Here he is lashing out at Israel and Iran because he's really upset that they may have violated the brokered ceasefire. If you guys do appreciate my work, please do remember to subscribe.
Is the ceasefire breaking? Is it intact? I don't think so, but I'm not happy that Israel's going out now. There was one rocket that I guess was fired overboard. It was after the time limit, and it missed its target. And now Israel's going out. These guys got to calm down. Ridiculous. I didn't like plenty of things I saw yesterday. I didn't like the fact that Israel unloaded right after we made the deal. They didn't have to unload. And I didn't like the fact that the retaliation was very strong. But in all fairness, Israel unloaded a lot. And now I hear Israel just went out because they felt it was violated by one rocket that didn't land anywhere. That's not what we want, I'll tell you. And I'm telling you, I'm not happy about that, Israel, either.
Donald Trump is just so arrogant. He thinks that he is the king of the world, that he can get any country to do exactly what he wants them to do. And so when anything goes awry, Donald Trump just absolutely loses his mind. He melts down. Now, of course, everybody knows that Israel has been at war with Iran, and supposedly on Monday, Donald Trump brokered some sort of ceasefire, but on Tuesday morning, Iran broke the deal, and then Israel broke the deal, and I guess Donald Trump called up Israel and was able to pressure them out of doing another strike, but Donald Trump is just obviously not handling any of this stuff well, and it really just goes to show that Donald Trump has a really hard time with anything that he cannot control. And he throws a fit like a toddler in a sandbox because he's just that fragile. He's just that fragile. Here he is responding to the idea that these nuclear facilities may have not been 100% demolished.
I think it's been completely demolished. I think the reason we're here is because those pilots, those B-2 pilots, did an unbelievable job. And, you know, the fake news, like CNN in particular, they're trying to say, well, I agree that it was destroyed, but maybe not that destroyed. You know what they're doing? They're really hurting great pilots that put their lives in the line. CNN is scum, and so is MSDNC. They're all, and frankly, the networks aren't much better. It's all fake news, but they should not have done that. Those pilots hit their targets. Those targets were obliterated, and the pilots should be given credit. They're not after the pilots, they're after me. They want to try and demean.
Yeah, he's pretty pissed off. Now, nobody is going after the pilots. Nobody is going after the military and trying to say that they did a bad job, because that's not the case at all. This strike was carried out with precision. It was quite impressive the way that they were able to target those nuclear facilities in the way that they did, using 125 different aircraft and then setting up decoys with B-2 bombers going in opposite directions. It was carried out with precision. It was pretty cool, to tell you the truth. But it was all Donald Trump's fault for coming out just hours later and saying, we did it, guys. Mission accomplished. We destroyed everything. There's no way they're going to be able to continue with the nuclear facilities now. If he just would have waited and allowed some intelligence to come in and, we would know by now, or at least get a better understanding that a lot of damage was done, but they weren't 100% destroyed, Donald Trump wouldn't even have to be having this battle. But because Donald Trump likes to come out. He claims victory. He says he's the best in the world, and all of these things that all the things that he does are the greatest of all time. This is the situation that he finds himself in. He's got to defend his previous remarks because he wanted to come out prematurely and claim victory. And he goes on to continue to attack the news agencies here.
Iran will never rebuild its nuclear. From there, absolutely not. That place is under rock. That place is demolished. The B-2 pilots did their job. They did it better than anybody could even imagine. They hit late in the evening. It was dark with no moon, and they hit that target with every one of those things, and that place is gone. But when I see CNN all night long, they're trying to say, well, maybe it wasn't really as demolished as we thought. It was demolished. You take a look at the pinpricks, and you see that place is gone. And I will say, I think CNN ought to apologize to the pilots of the B-2s. I think that MSDNC ought to apologize. I think these guys really, these networks and these cable networks are real losers. You really are. You're real losers. You're gutless losers. I say that to CNN because I watch it. I have no choice. I got to watch that garbage. It's all garbage. It's all fake news. But I think CNN is a gutless group of people. And the people that run it, nobody even knows it's been sold so many times. But the people that run it ought to be ashamed. MSDNC, a guy named Brian Roberts, he heads it. He's a disgrace. He's a weak, pathetic disgrace.
What is this dude's issue? It's not CNN's fault. It's not MSNBC's fault that they are just reporting the facts on the ground as they come in. It is your fault for trying to claim a different reality that doesn't exist. And instead of trying to contend with the facts that are coming in, even from our own intelligence agencies and Israel's intelligence agencies, you go on the attack against the free press. Like, this is what Donald Trump does, right? He is such a fragile and feckless, weak individual that anytime he feels under attack, he's got to lash out at other people. And who better to do it to than CNN and MSNBC? I mean, it is so pathetic that a president of the United States is acting in this way. He could have just waited a day or two, and we could have had the facts roll in. We could have declared victory because we did do a substantive amount of damage to these nuclear facilities. But that is not the way that this administration wanted to play it. Instead, they come out hours later and declared victory, saying that they will never be able to, go after nuclear weapons ever again. And it's just not true. It's just not true. These people are pathetic. And I wish the Republicans, they did this back when we were lying ourselves into the war over in Iraq, right? We've seen how this story played out before. They should have learned their lesson. But here we are today, having a repeat of what George Bush said back in the day. And to finish things off, Donald Trump drops the F-bomb.
You know what? We basically have two countries that have been fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what the fuck they're doing. Do you understand that?
Do you understand that, guys? They don't know what the F they're doing. They just been fighting for so long, they got no clue what's going on. I'm the king of the world, and because they disobeyed me, well, then I need to lash out at everybody under the sun. I am Donald Trump. I'll be here all week. It is so embarrassing that this man is our president. Not only does he just have no competence to do this job on a regular day, but when he's under pressure like this, when he's got facts coming in that are contrary to his worldview, he melts into a puddle. He's just weak. He's pathetic. He's like the stereotypical single child. If every time they don't get their way, they're pounding the sandbox and they're just throwing a fit and they're throwing the juice box at the wall. In Donald Trump's case, maybe it would be a ketchup to the wall or whatever it may be. He's like a child. He doesn't get his way and he throws a fucking fit. It's just so embarrassing. This is the most powerful man in the world. And he thinks that he has the power to control every little facet of every little thing that he wants to stick his grimy little fingers into. But sorry, Donnie, that's just not how the world works. You can't just point at Iran and say, you do this, and then they do it. You can't just point at Israel and say, you better do what I say or else whatever. Like, it's just not how anything works. He's just incapable of doing this job. He is emotionally unstable. And on top of all that, we've got this cognitive decline that is making him, it appears, more and more angry. Anytime he lashes out now, it's more severe, it's more outrageous. It's just quite disgusting. And we got another, 3.5 years of this nonsense, if he even makes it that far. So I guess we'll just have to see how it goes. But this is Donald Trump on Tuesday morning, just absolutely losing his mind, because the facts on the ground as it pertains to the strike in Iran that we did are just not comporting with his version of reality. So he's throwing that fit in the sandbox. He's wondering why nobody wants to play with him. So I'll leave it there for now, guys. If you guys got anything out of this video, please do remember to smash that like button and subscribe. Maybe share with a friend or two. I'd very much appreciate that. We are trying to build something here on the left that adequately pushes back against this right-wing media ecosystem that just launders all of this bad behavior for Donald Trump day in and day out. So if you do like what I do here, please do remember to smash that subscribe button. Of course, that is free. And if you guys want to see how the Trump administration is now trying to spin this bombing on Iran as some sort of peace, I'm not joking, go ahead and watch that video on the screen now. Otherwise, I'll see you guys on the next one.